What's up, everyone? It's the Cheshire Human from Snapshot, coming at you with an Atlantean deck profile. This is a deck built around the abilities of Namor, Attuma, and Orka, and it's meant to be fun. It's not meant to be meta, but it is pretty optimized. So anyway, let's get right into the deck profile. So first off, we have Kitty Pryde in this deck. She's just a generic good one-drop, and her ability actually works pretty well with the Atlanteans, because you can play her on the Atlanteans lane, and then once she bounces back to your hand, the Atlanteans gain their abilities again. If you don't know, the Atlanteans have a gimmick where if they're the only card at a location, they get a benefit, such as increased power, or in the case of Attuma, just not being destroyed. So Kitty works really well with that. The second one drop, I wanted to be Nebula, but I don't have her since I am a free-to-play player, so I just included Nightcrawler in here. If you do have Nebula, feel free to slot her into this deck. She works pretty nicely, at least in theory, I think she does. But if you don't have her, Nightcrawler is great because he can move out of the way if you choose that, oh wait, I actually want to play the Atlantean in this lane instead of that lane. You can move Nightcrawler out to make room for them. Moving on, we have Lizard. Again, in theory, I feel like the slot could be better utilized by Zabu. I, again, don't have him, but I'm not sure. I would need to definitely theory craft with that and playtest a lot, because Lizard actually seems pretty nice in this deck. Your opponent will be inclined to play into his lane so that he gets -4 power, and that'll leave the other two lanes open for you and your Atlanteans to hopefully win. So yeah, Zabu or Lizard works pretty nicely. We have both the Goblins in this deck, and their abilities work incredibly well with the Atlanteans. They allow you to get ahead on a lane without having a card there on your side, so they're just really, really good. In this slot, we have Killmonger because Central Park absolutely sucks for this deck. However, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, again, in theory, works really nicely in this slot. I know, I promise this is the last in theory slot, but just because Negasonic is such, like, released in Series 5, I'm not even sure where, like, what series now she's in, but, I mean, Killmonger works pretty nicely, but Negasonic would definitely be the much better option here, because she's just a great tech card all around, and she leaves your side of the field empty once she gets her use done. We also have Hulkbuster. Hulkbuster is really great for the Atlanteans because it combines with them and lets you add power onto their lane while still only having one card there. And Hulkbuster is really great for this deck. It's absolutely amazing. Moving on, we have Shuri to double one the Atlanteans' power, because the main problem with this deck is that the Atlanteans have to be alone at a lane for their ability to work. However, they only have 11 or 10, or in the case of Orka, 16 power if they're alone, and that's generally not enough to win a lane. So with Shuri, you can double their power to get even higher, so in theory you can win that lane with just them. So that's why Shuri's in here. Again, Zabu works really nicely in theory because Shuri's a 4-cost, and their next two cards, Namor and Attuma, are both 4-cost as well, so they would all be reduced to 3-cost, and that would really help this deck because it seems kind of bricky just because your 3 boss monsters are a 4-cost, a 4-cost, and a 6-cost. So Zabu could help with playing on curve and stuff, but I mean, it's kind of inevitable to have a bricky deck when you're building around the Atlanteans, so I'm not really sure how to solve that. We do run Hobgoblin in the 5-cost spot. Again, really great. Nothing more to say. We run Chavez for consistency. I also didn't really have anything else to put in this slot, so, I mean, consistency works. And finally, we have Orka. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Let me know if you guys want more in the future. And how about you check out this video on screen right now, less than 5 minutes long, about how we broke MarvelSnap. It was really cool to make. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.